Imagine waking up tomorrow and finding that every road, every highway, and every set of train tracks in India has simply vanished. How do groceries get to your local market? How do you get to school or work? That invisible web holding daily life together is physical infrastructure. It is the vast, tangible network of asphalt, steel bridges, and power lines required for a modern nation to function. The origins of India's most massive infrastructural network date back to 1853, with the launch of the very first passenger train. The British government didn't build these early tracks to connect local communities. They engineered the railway system specifically to move military troops quickly and to extract domestic raw materials, like tea and cotton, straight to coastal ports for export to Britain. When India gained independence, it inherited a massive transportation system built for resource extraction. The new nation was tasked with re-engineering those tracks and roads to support its own internal economic growth. Today, India operates the second-largest road network in the world, stretching over 6 million kilometers. A common assumption is that the central government runs this entire system, but the actual structure is a shared hierarchy. The vast majority of these routes are local and district roads maintained by local authorities. These feed into larger state highways managed by individual state governments. This map illustrates the top of that hierarchy, the national highways. Maintained by the central government, they act as the primary arterial routes linking major cities, including the Golden Quadrilateral and the NH-44 corridor running from Srinagar to Kanyakumari. Road building also adapts to challenging local terrain. In the steep, wet forests of Meghalaya, indigenous tribes have spent generations guiding the aerial roots of rubber trees across streams. These living root bridges grow stronger over centuries, providing a nature-based solution where concrete would fail. Across the broader rural landscape, millions of farmers historically relied on fragile dirt paths that washed away during monsoon season. The Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana program was launched to lay down all-weather rural roads, providing reliable access to schools and markets year-round. For interstate transit, India is building access-controlled expressways. These high-speed, multi-lane routes bypass local traffic entirely, cutting travel times between major economic hubs by half. Whether it's a reinforced dirt road, a living root bridge, or a 6-lane expressway, this multi-tiered hierarchy ensures that a single, continuous logistical web links the most isolated rural farmers directly to the country's main economic arteries. Running parallel to the asphalt is the Indian railway system. It operates with a dual purpose, moving over 20 million people every single day, while acting as the primary carrier for heavy industrial freight. In the megacities, suburban passenger networks are incredibly dense. Local trains, like the ones operating in Mumbai, run every few minutes from dawn to late night, carrying the essential urban workforce. But this high volume of traffic created a severe bottleneck. Because heavy, slow-moving cargo trains historically shared the exact same tracks as high-priority passenger trains, they caused constant delays across the national supply chain. To solve this, India is building dedicated freight corridors, entirely separate railway lines built specifically for cargo. By routing shipping containers and coal trains onto their own tracks, freight moves at optimal speeds without blocking passenger traffic. This chart tracks the rate of railway electrification over the last 2.5 decades. In the year 2000, only 24% of the broad-gauge network was electrified. Today, that number sits at over 99%. Moving away from diesel has reduced both operating costs and carbon dioxide emissions. Technical upgrades are also improving speed and safety. The introduction of semi-high-speed Vande Bharat trains has reduced intercity travel times, while the deployment of the Kavach automatic train protection system is upgrading track safety. Separating freight from passengers, electrifying the lines, and automating safety allows the railways to serve the specific demands of a modern economy as an efficient, sustainable carrier. Looking at these two maps side by side reveals how the purpose of India's infrastructure has changed. On the left is the railway layout of British India in 1909. On the right, the network as it exists today. Notice the structure of the 1909 network. The primary lines act as funnels, drawing raw materials from the deep interior directly outward to the major coastal ports for export. The 2024 map shows a dense, intersecting web designed to link the interior states, supporting the internal supply chains and domestic trade that drive national growth. Because of this integrated network, a tomato farmer in rural Maharashtra can transport their harvest to a market in Delhi before it spoils, and millions of urban workers can commute reliably to their jobs every morning. The next time you cross a state highway or wait at a railway crossing, recognize that you are looking at the living, physical manifestation of India's economic integration.